contrast to what we saw yesterday, or 2 days ago against Vici Gaming, I wouldn't say this is a very aggressive draft from Rave, but it's a better draft against what the opponent has, where it doesn't seem like just on paper they're going to lose lanes and be in a lot of trouble. This time they have a shot at getting into a pretty decent 10 to 15 minute mark, and then maybe the Night Stalker can put a lot of pressure for them.
Weird build from Rio to get the Mango as an offlaner. I feel like his lack of HP regen could be a serious issue for him.
All right, he's got one per second. Let's calm down here.
Mango value.
Don't count the mango out. The face that you made was so good there.
I wish we had that on stream. So the runes are going to spawn now. And
oh, twofer. Oh, we know the win rate when a team gets 2 bounty runes is pretty high.
51.
I think it was into the 60s, actually.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
now, obviously, you know, how much of that is the double rune spawn versus, like, just having a stronger draft that can secure the runes reliably, or all kinds of other factors. But
yeah,
still, it's an interest.
Or just generally that the better team tends to get 2 runes.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
They're focusing on it a lot more.
EG with this support duo, the Lion Lina. Trying to find some early kills here. PPDX gets revealed, which is... Well,
this could very easily not work.
I think he saw him there.
Is right.
Yeah, Cast just saw him.
Oh, Cast is now on the run, but he gets slowed by the time walk. No,
he's fine.
Not in range. Oh, he's going to turn for a Cast that sets up a Hex, and Lina. LSA going to hit both. Oh boy.
I think he could have just ran away there.
I actually think he would have lived if he just walked.
Yep.
I was surprised.
Turning was what allowed the Hex to go off.
Yep.
Maybe the pressure getting to him a little bit. Unfortunate.
He might have thought he was slowed more by the time walk than he was. It is a pretty underwhelming slow on level 1, and it didn't... Like, how long does it last? I actually can't remember. Time walk, it's been a while since we've seen Void. So 20% slow for 3 seconds. I feel like it already had been 3 seconds, actually.
I think when he turned to Cast, the slow... Yeah, exactly. It was over.
Well, unfortunate. EG do use the smoke there, and I guess we'll settle down to the lanes now a little bit. So Fear going to be running the safe lane Clinks, and I mean, this is really where Clinks excels, is in a 1v1 matchup against a melee bruiser that can't get up in his face too easily. Should be very tough, especially with, you mentioned, David, the low HP regen on Ryo. May need to ferry out some tangos, a salve. He's got 1 remaining here. He's quickly chewing through them.
And this is where the EG supports don't have to put any time and effort into helping out Fear in the safe lane. He should be able to just crush this lane. They can prioritize winning the off lane, ganking the mid lane, the Wiz Tiny, helping out there, and they can be very active on the map in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Absolutely, and I mean, this is what you want to see if you're EGs. Fear focusing on zoning out that Night Stalker, slow him down as much as possible. He is still getting experience though, and ultimately, it's all about the first nighttime more so than winning the farm. They know they're gonna lose this as far as that goes. They're getting good farm on the tiny mid. Mag not the easiest kill.
Mag doing fine, he's got 10 CS. This is what you want from your mid lane against a Wiz Tiny.
Fairly durable in general. But a nice courier snipe, tether forward from Chrissy. Got it with the illusions as well, very well done. Sumail not expecting that whatsoever. And he might try to turn this big jukes from Chrissy. Then the tether back, he's gonna survive. Man, I haven't had my caffeine yet, but he's waking me up here.
This really hurts Sumail. He was doing fine until that, but now he can't bottle crow. That's how you hold your own against the Wiz Tiny. You just sit back, you spam, you bottle crow. But
that is really big.
Now he's going to struggle to get farm. He can stay in the lane, probably not die, but getting farm without Shockwave mana is not easy.
Well, you said, Gods, that the supports on Rave need to step up for them in this match, and so far, I mean, Cast with a bit of a unfortunate mistake, but like Chrissy tried to make up for it.
And even though this Night Stalker in the bottom lane is getting fairly destroyed, like we talked, I don't know if you can say that fairly destroyed, but whatever, we'll go with it. He's getting levels, so come nighttime in about 20 seconds, he can start to put a lot of pressure on, for example, PPD's Lion right here. And considering how well Clinks does against melee heroes, like you talked about, David, he's still 7 CS is not awful at minute 4 for an offlane Night Stalker in this kind of matchup. The hero does have decent base armor, and that's a big advantage against Clinks and lane, of course. Let's say you take an offlane hero like Phoenix against Clinks. If Clinks gets any head start, Phoenix just dies so fast from just a couple of attacks.
Ryo is going to fight PPD, that low base armor Lion.
He's got the mango.
He does, and he might need it just for that extra mana regen. Going to try to deny himself to the neutrals, ring around the wolves, doesn't manage to get the deny. And Rave, strike back here, getting a kill, and let the courier take down earlier. Things shaping up decently for them here. Universe tries to engage into cast. He's really looking for that bash to come out. He's got a single point in the time lock, not finding it. We'll just Ninja Boogie for now, standing his own ground. Keeps on trying to juke this AUI stun. Now the Wisp comes in. They're going to turn this against AUI/Universe. And looks like AUI will drop another kill for Rave, who aren't done yet. Chase on the Universe into the trees. They force the TP out. He's going to miss a lot of experience during this time. And Ryo, he just casually drives by Fear. He might feed the courier and barely escapes. Oh man, everything's shaping up nicely for Rave.
And that kill by Night Stalker at the bottom rune is actually the classic way Night Stalkers get ahead in the game. It's the 4-minute rune. Either you don't, it's not, you don't think about it as support, it's just a part of your routine that you go check the rune. But because the nighttime kicks in, the millisecond the rune spawns, you're basically, even if you get the rune as Lion, if that rune is not an invis or a haste, you're actually dead. Like, if you don't get any backup, Night Stalker will run you down. Even if it's a double damage, he still beats you in a fist fight. And I can't remember if PPD actually even got the rune or not, but he obviously didn't get the one he was looking for. And Night Stalker got a good amount of experience out of that. We saw the kill top as well. And the good news for EG is, sure, the Tiny is farming, but their Magnus is doing pretty well mid as well against the dual lane that he had to face. Clinks is doing well, and Universe is Void in the offlane. An offlaner that really needs farm if you want to turn him into any sort of semi-carry, not just be a walking Chronosphere. He has the potential here with
21 CS. Yeah, that is quite a bit. Now the gank obviously helps him out a lot, the level 1 First Blood. We are going to see that Wisp only level 4 with the early rotations. Do they have any stacks in the jungle for the Dire side is what I'm wondering. We see a little bit of stacking going on.
Oh, that actually a lot. That was 2 triple stacks and a double, right?
EG are decent at stealing stacks, and wouldn't be shocked if they tried to go for something we saw from, I think it was it IG, who just smoked into the enemy jungle, David, and stole a bunch of stacks when they were down heavy early game?
During...
Was it Red Bull's group stage, I think?
Malaysia did that.
Oh, it was Malaysia that did that.
Yeah, Malaysia did that against Secret.
Yeah, I don't think EG have actually seen these yet. It's more just, you're up against Tiny Wisp. You know they're going to be stacking.
You'd have to bring a lot of heroes, and that's the scary thing. At nighttime, I don't think you go for it, because
they don't have like that Batrider or Axe that can just do it solo. You have to commit a lot more.
If you have a hero that can do it solo, Malaysia had Shadow Fiend. I think Cloud9's done it with Bo3 on Batrider, where he'll just solo go. He's offline. He's gotten zoned out. So instead of going to his own jungle, he just swoops on in, steals like an enemy Shadow Fiend stack. So they have a lineup which can clear stacks if they bring in like 2-3 heroes or just slowly shockwave it down, but they're not really the best lineup to go into an enemy.
Gonna have an engagement bottom. Fear trying to force the Wisp back. Man, look at the damage. That low armor really gonna hurt Chrissy. He doesn't have a tether back in 2 seconds. If he doesn't get stunned here, he should be okay, and barely escapes.
They're forcing rotations. That's decent for Rave.
Sid, I want to ask you, do you think Tiny Blink Dagger is the way to go this game? We've seen a lot more of it as of late. I'm not sure what Jay was building towards, but what do you think this game? Is this like an Axe Rush type of game? Do you get your drums early? Blink, do you have a strong feeling about the item build?
I think Blink is really good when you're in team with Night Stalker. Every single nighttime you will have superior vision because of his night vision being 1800 against all of EG's heroes having 800. I think there's none of them that have any special. There's a lot of easy targets. Lion, Lina, and Clinks, unless Clinks is Death Pact on, will die to a tiny Avalanche toss combo, 100% certain. So I actually think more often than not, the Blink is the best build actually, and that the very farm-oriented build is kind of a thing of the past.
Yeah, it seems like everyone has gone towards that more and more. Sumail did get stunned there mid RP cast. There was a nice Avalanche to bail Jo out. They'll retreat.
I think he was going for that too. If he got that RP off, he was going for the skewer back shockwave.
They had him too. There's no defensive relocate, so really no way to stop it. But that first nighttime does end. Score's only 2-1. So far, I mean, it's been certainly for Rave coming as underdogs, a very nice start, but they're not snowballing out of control yet by any means. Something their lineup with the Night Stalker, the Wisp, really wants to be doing.
By the way, something I've just noticed is Ninja Boogie's playing Viper. He's not actually on support.
Yeah, they switched up. I think Chrissy normally plays the Wisp for the team, doesn't he?
Whenever they have Wisp, Chrissy plays. That's how I remember it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thrown off slightly by that earlier.
Yeah, I saw Ninja Boogie. I'm like, okay, that's right.
anyone can play Viper.
Yeah.
As Fear was quick to complain about at the NA Hub last year. God, he hates that hero. Oh man. Losing to Viper, that would put him on the old man on tilt, I'm pretty sure.
So far, pretty good for Rave. They've got the 2 top net worth heroes. Their supports are well ahead of the EG supports. I feel like the Lion Lena have accomplished nothing since getting first blood for the team.
Yep. Oh, Cass mid lane. That's going to be a 4-shot. AUI comes in. We'll get the last hit. Easy takedown, though. And Wisp, Witch Doctor, low armor heroes up against Clinks. Heavy physical damage. They have to be careful, and they're not. They are going to be easy pickoffs.
If you imagine, like, seeing him output damage like that, if you imagine him having a Deso, it's actually a 2-shot. I mean, you don't have a Deso at minute 10 in general, but you get the idea. In a few minutes, he could have it. Oh, actually, Chrono here onto Ryo. PPD is coming in from the back.
No finger, gets off the stun. They're going to need some dashes to get the job done. Nice tether in by Chrissy. Not enough, though. They get the kill. Jo comes with the turn, but he misses on the avalanche. Universe has the time walk back. Cat's going to follow. He's low, not dead just yet. Sumail continuing to engage, and PPD with the 1 hero stun. That Wisp out of the fight. 2 dead, make it 3. EG, superior numbers. Where's the Viper through all this? He's just farming top lane. Felt like a fight where they really could have used him.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't have a TP, but he was next to the side shop, and
I'm not sure if he TP'd in top or just had him bought a TP, but to me, if you're not going to bring the Viper in, you just don't take that fight.
yeah, that made a world of difference, actually. I think they might not win the fight, but they would at least get a decent trade if Viper comes in there. Probably getting 2 kills, maybe, but that's a very big win for EG.
It's scary as well. Like, EG, once they get their level 6s, they have so much burst damage, so much team fight, and everyone has their ultimate now. The Void, Magline, and Lena. That first nighttime for Rave, score was 2-1. It looked like things were still going reasonably well, but this is what can happen is once the other team's ready for you with their big ults, they can completely swing the game.
Yeah, and all it took was EG to find 1 good fight. Suddenly their supports have caught up, as you mentioned, have their level 6s and are actually ahead in farm compared to the Rave supports. Your Mag finishes a Blink, Fear's getting close to some decent items as well, and actually gets a Helm of the, picks up the Helm of Iron Will, and a bit of a interesting little pickup here coming out.
Oh, he might find the courier. Alright, guess not.
Is he building Armlet?
I was
Yeah, Armlet's pretty legit on Clinks, I think.
It's... I don't think Helm of the Dominator is good.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like it's like just for the burst damage of an armlet, you can kind of synergize it with the Death Pact.
It helps you survive the tiny burst a lot. It gives you good damage, and yeah, you have the main thing with the armlet is always having the sustain, and that's something Clinks does have from Death Pact. So
could you get the HP back that you lose when your Death Pact wears off? So in some ways, like the HP you lose, like you have your armlet on for a while your Death Pact did, you lose, and then when you turn your armlet off, your Death Pact ends, and suddenly you're full HP again.
Oh shit, how is it works? When, let's say you have a base health of 600 and then you cast Death Pact.
Yes.
And then if you have like 900 health, when Death Pact ends, you go back to your flat 600 full instead of maintaining the percentage you have.
Yes,
relative.
exactly.
yes, it's like it works like a heal, basically.
So that's where armlet makes sense.
Yeah.
Chrono comes out, Universe with a nice dodge, allowing Fear to continue to engage here. Follow stun from Lena, they get the kill. Now the turn on Fear. Laguna doing decent damage, followed up by the Finger. The relocates here. The Chuck goes on to PPD, though, doesn't finish off Fear in the end, who's just going to scurry away on the Clinks. Universe no trouble. Big airball RP by Sumail, but there's not a whole lot of follow-up regardless. Skewer comes through, they bring each other back, saving the Clinks. They get nothing. What a train wreck of a fight for Rave.
It did get
It's Dominator.
Interesting.
Man.
I like that armlet theory crafting though.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons why you get reasons why you normally get Dominator, to stack Ancients, to try and roast early, or to sustain. Clinks doesn't really need the sustain.
You know,
maybe he could take roast.
You know, it's just a Death Pact. He brings the creep around him in the middle of a fight. He can Death Pact and have
that's
it.
That's true. That's
and
a really
also
good
Dominator gets plus 500 HP, so you get a lot of it's even more HP and damage.
That is actually a really good point.
Oh yeah, after the buff to Helm of the Dominator, that's actually really, really good.
I can't believe we didn't see that. I know.
Well, it's
now that I realize, it's just like
version.
It's when was it that patch came in that gave the Dominator creep 500 health? That was 683, I think.
Yeah.
So it's relatively new, but Clinks wasn't really a pick, but that's very, very true. That's actually really
because that's
cool.
always been one of Clinks' problems. We kind of talked about when the hero was first picked. You go into the jungle, you Death Pack a creep, and it can take maybe 20, 30 seconds before you find a kill or a fight. by then your Death Pact is wearing off.
So how well is it the Klink's ulti scales? Like how much does he get out of this 500 health? So he gets 6.5% damage, so that's another 35, right? Wait, what am I saying? Yeah, 1% of 500 health is 5.
Yep.
And then times 6.5. So that's like an extra 32.5 damage or whatever on level 1.
And the HP as well.
And the HP. And you're getting that for 2,000 gold. That's actually a really, really good investment.
Yeah, you're looking at a couple hundred extra.
And that's where you can just use it on, like, even if there's, like, a lane creep. Like, you could just dominate a lane creep and then use Death Pact on it. And suddenly it's not just like a normal lane creep, it's like a mega creep kind of HP. Okay.
Well, EG here looking really good, though. Universe starting to get his farm. They are stacking Ancients for the Empowered Void to clean up later on, and he gets his Mask of Madness now. Have a nice little
quote-unquote instant
draft replay. Here we go.
This is the killing miss.
Easy takedown.
Easy. We should just rename the instant replay pit to the "This is what Weppers missed."
Throwing everyone under the bus here, man. I guess you're mad at Slacks. You're taking out on other people.
I was almost run over this morning. Slacks is a madman.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. So what are we looking at here? It feels like EG are not that far ahead considering they're 9-2 minute 16. They've taken 2 towers, they've lost 1, but the implications on the game now is it's difficult for Rave now to play split anymore.
Well, skewer by Sumail into a bit of an attack from Fear. Lays into him nice and thick. Good cast comes out of the death wards there. Blink, counter initiation gets 2. Nice turn from Rave. They have Chrono on RP though. Gotta be careful about diving. Another airball by Sumail. The Chrono's perfect, but where's the follow-up in Sphere? Trying to get the job done. The Wiz does go home. Ninja Boogie runs in, sacrificing his own life. A 2 for 1, but both ultis blown by EG. Pretty damn good for Rave.
The one good thing for EG when it comes to their lineup is you see a lot of these wombo combo lineups where you have like massive long cooldown AoE ultimates and then you have a downtime where your team is pretty weak. But when you combine this kind of draft with the Klinks who can constantly roam around the map, then even when those ultimates are down, the enemy team can't just play safe because Fear can easily solo Witch Doctor or Io at any point in time if he isolates them. We're going to see him try on Ryo here. I don't think this one's going to work, but...
Does force out the ulti, drives him back, and... This is generally what you see from Klinks, either getting kills or just creating a lot of space, and that's where having the Void as an offlaner that can farm works really well, because he can take advantage of the space and look to clear the Ancients, look to get a bit of additional farm around the map.
This is an interesting stat. This is the sixth Helm of the Dominator.
I mean, it's probably less than the... We probably haven't even seen 6 Klinks games since the buff.
Yeah, and I think more or less all of those Helm of the Dominator games were probably Satanic build-up.
Yeah.
For
like 60, 70 minutes.
I don't remember seeing this this play with Klinks before, at least.
No, it's definitely something new. I'm sure something Fear's been practicing and saving up for a big event. Sumail will go in, though. Blink Skewer on the mid lane. Does catch Ninja Boogie. They pull back with a stun. Laguna Blade's there, and the mech comes out just in the nick of time. Now the turn from the Tony. Braids down 1, diving onto Fear. There's no Chrono, and they're trying to take advantage of it. Death Ward comes out. Where's the detection for Fear? They don't have it. Good disengage from EG. Managing to stem the bleeding a bit here. And Fear wanting to re-engage. They did drop the sentry, but it was a bit too late to get anything done. Nice, but Raver fighting well when these cooldowns are not available.
They have such a strong lineup for brawling right now too. Like they have the mech on Viper, Tiny with Blink Drums, fairly tanky, and of course the Wisp and
Vlad's as well.
The Vlad's, yeah. I'm a big fan of this pickup on Night Stalker.
There comes the stun, Universe. Not really needed. PPD's like, I got this.
Gets to pay for the rune. Universe is actually very rich. This was a position 3 Void. He's out farming the
He had the 2 supports at least.
Yeah.
Like, it was a tri lane, but yeah. Still a lot more farm on Universe than you'd normally expect.
I mean, the concern for me for Rave is, do you want this going late? Sure, you have Tiny Wisp, but I feel like every hero on EG scales well. They're getting a lot of farm on all of their cores.
You don't want to go late against EG. If you're Rave now, you look maybe, I don't know what you look for actually, if there's any more key pickups. A pipe would be pretty nice against Lion Lina, or a Glimmer Cape or two really, really good against these two heroes. Glimmer Cape for the IO in particular would be amazing. And then you probably need to look for something like a smoke gank and then getting Roche, because you need to build an advantage here.
Yeah. I mean, Night Stalker, Ags, Gem would be great, but realistically, we are a very long way off of that, and this could be trouble for IO. And the tree line is spotted out by the Clinks here. They're starting to bring in the gang. They want to swing around, and they'll just time walk right in. The Wisp is fairly nearby, though. Might be able to relocate him out. No, not quite there just yet. The Hex coming out with Tiny Bag. They mech him as well. Ryo Tanky will end up falling. And
No one in EG wanted that kill.
could have tried for the defensive relocate, but worried that that'll just give EG a chance to set up and turn the fight. Yeah, EG, well, I guess we'll go.
They have to protect their own jungle. Fear is going to be doing this all game until they start catching him off guard, but his BKB is almost completed actually, looking really good in the net worth with about 9k at minute 20. Or just not... I feel like the majority of Rave's plays are reactionary, and they need to take some initiative. The problem is they want to relocate in the Tiny Wisp, but they're engaged with the Tiny. They don't have anything that really sets up a relocate gank that nice.
I mean, that's a good point. I think it's entirely the vision. EG have had good aggressive wards, Rave have no vision, and you've got the Clinks always running around in your jungle, so how do you find those openings when you don't know where they are or what they're up to? It's very dangerous to just go wandering around the EG jungle knowing that a Chrono RP could be waiting for
Dire's top tower is
Gonna try to split push. This is another way of doing it.
you. But now they do start to get some wards up. They've now got a ward off in the Radiant jungle, and they're gonna pressure this tower bottom. TPs are coming in though. The Magnus is here. Sumail, Blake RP connects on two. Sketch silence before the skewer back, but it doesn't seem it'll matter. Another bubble on two more, and Universe lays in lots of dashes for him. Uni going to work, gonna slice up Ninja Boogie, 4 fall. And with that, Rave completely on the back foot.
Important for Sumail to get a little bit of momentum here. He's had a couple of pretty, let's be honest, pretty bad RPs.
Yeah, that one was a bit of a gimme, but you know
Finally
you're
lands.
gonna hit some of these ultimates. You have RP and Chrono. Like, missing them both is very unlikely.
It's a 4k gold swing in EG's favor and a Roach, so this is more like 5k plus maybe a tier 1 mid if they want to backdoor that. It is a possibility. I think they won't do that though, so probably going to settle for a 5k win here. Are they going to get the Aegis to Universe? They are. Giving it to him over Fear. Fear's probably going to be able to stay alive anyway. He's
Honestly, the Clink,
insane how tanky he
the
is.
Clinks is way more durable than the Void, especially when Mask of Madness goes off. All right, well, Sin, you mentioned Rave doesn't want this to go late. What do they do now? Doesn't feel like they have a whole lot of ability to fight. Yeah.
With Tiny, that's all you can do here at this point, is just hope for the ultra late game Tiny to carry you to victory in some ways.
The thing is, it's just not a good matchup for Tiny. I mean, it's one thing that the enemy team has really good late gamers on paper, but both of their carries are actually good counters to Tiny, I would say.
Yeah, they've got
one of the better ones, especially when it's a Tiny Wisp. You can catch both in the Chrono, and Clinks is... he deals ridiculous damage late game to single target.
his big weakness is normally just that people will run at him, but he's got the Void and the Magnus to keep them off.
Yep.
And they're getting close to some more items. Just got the AUI 2000 Yules, the PPD Blink Dagger coming soon. At that point, everyone on EG has their basic kit. And looking at Rave, you've got a Witch Doctor and 1800 health. He's just, or 1800 gold rather. He's just, 1800 health would be pretty sweet actually.
Yeah, that's the Clinks.
These EG supports will go
He's
late
just
game
total
just
food.
fine. You have a Lina with Yules who can even farm towards an Accept or whatever it may be. Lion is an amazing late game support with Blink Hex. It's an EG lineup which is in a very comfortable position right now.
And one thing I actually wanted to talk about earlier, when you do this Helm of the Dominator build on Clinks, Clinks is a hero that kind of usually runs into mana problems if you go for something like that. That's part of the appeal in the Orchid build-up, is getting the mana regen as well so you can keep going. But Fear went for both Soul Ring and Aquila this game, so doesn't really have mana issues and allows him to go for this kind of
Dire's middle tower is under
innovative
attack.
build, I would say.
Yeah, Soul Rain just such a value item on Clinks in general.
Yeah, that one isn't so new.
Yeah.
But Soul Ring and Aquila together, I feel like is not that common. It's generally either or, because else it's too expensive and your Orchid gets delayed too much. But
yeah,
what if you don't go Orchid?
The Orchid build seems like I haven't seen that much Clinks, but I feel like it may just be falling off in general. Will come out mid onto Ryo. They go, and with Fear there, an easy takedown. They steal Ninja Boogie back into the Chrono as it expires. Chrissy joins the fight. Death Ward comes out by Cast, a good one, but just focusing on Fear, who's far too tanky for this team, and tickle him. They'll lose the Witch Doctor, perhaps more as well. Tony thrown up in the air. Ninja Boogie getting clobbered, will be brought down. They still can't finish the Void, and now the RP on Jo catching him out. Follow-up stun. They'll bring him down too. It's a triple for the old man. Rave getting demolished by EG here.
Dire's middle tower is
Yikes. This is starting to get bad. They're going to lose Io in the mid lane. They traded for an Aegis, which is, I mean, as good as it gets for Rave, but that was just,
It's looking pretty out of reach, honestly.
I mean, at the very least, it looks like they're... Are they past the average game time for this tournament?
They're at around the average.
That's actually insane.
We've had only 2 games or something go over 30 minutes, I think, or thing.
I don't think there's ever been a tournament.
Nice play from Sumail. 4-step blink.
We're setting records here at the 7-3. Perhaps not the kind the viewers are looking for, but I don't know if there's ever been an event with this many sub 30-minute games.
Remember.
And 2-0s. We may go 8 2-0s in a row before we see a 3-game series.
A lot of people remember TI4 as that tournament where every game was just a death ball, 15-minute win. But as a matter of fact, that was only the very end of the playoffs. Like, the entire tournament actually had a lot of long games and yeah. People will often remember the grand finals, and for TI4, that's unfortunate, but it was actually the tournament average match time, I think, was maybe closer to like 40 minutes.
Yeah, the TI4 group stage games and even the playoffs up until that grand finals were honestly all really good games in my opinion. And like you said, long ones in a lot of cases. Well, Rave now, it's not looking too good, and sure how they bounce back, to be honest. BKB deals so well with the Tiny at this point. Feels like it's got to just be outmaneuvering EG. You have the Wisp, you have the Night Stalker.
Wow. That was actually sub 25.
I would have said like 26,
All right,
maybe.
so Rave are they're doing better. They're doing better than the average here.
Yeah. Is that a sign of weakness from EG? They're not winning fast enough in the 26-minute game.
Yeah. What are you doing, EG?
Are fortified.
Oh. It's going to take a really big throw to lose this game now for EG. A team that generally takes their time. I guess we should mention that as well. Like, even if they could push high ground and win right now, historically they like to build a big enough advantage and get the key items they need before they go high ground. Less of a YOLO team than EG has been in the past. I think it's been a big part of their success and getting rid of that old reputation of throwing a lot of games has just been patience when it comes to high grounding. I do believe if they went high ground now, they would probably win, but in that 5% off chance that the fight fails, why? Just wait for Aegis and then go.
Wait for Aegis, next round of items. Universe does go into the eggs now, so Refresher could well be the choice after this. Now it's the mono to support it.
Oh, and
Daedalus
has this
complete
full Daedalus, jeez.
And Empower, level 4. This is going to be scary.
Yeah. Put Empower on Universe as well as Fear, and those two just wreck face.
Just looking to find the Wisp here. Universe is wrapping around. He's just going to Chrono straight in onto Chrissy, and there's nothing they can do about it. He'll take the creeps as well. Now a Hex finds Cast, isolated in the tree line, gets pushed back. RP does end up getting canceled by Sumail. Hangs onto it for now. They don't even need it. They'll bring down Ryo too. That's 2 dead.
Did Fear just crit for 900 on a Night Stalker? Or, that's before armor, right? The number it shows.
Yeah, I believe so.
But still.
Brutal.
That's Empower and a wolf for you.
You just keep on going.
He hits for 400. He actually hits for 400 without a DD. That's insane.
Not a fun game to be a Rave support, that's for sure.
No, and they pick pretty squishy supports, to be honest, if they get focused.
With Acceptor, Universe has another Chronosphere up in 10 seconds as well.
Yeah, I think
really
with that,
scary.
you can go high ground here.
Yeah.
And they will.
PPD.
Great
Nice
lord
ward,
by
nice
PPD.
ward,
This
yeah.
is going to scout out Ninja Boogie. The Blink Skewer will find him. Wisp is ready with the relocate. They may be forced to use it. Tethered for now. Does use it.
They baited it out.
EG can just go with the Chrono onto that. Chrono does come out onto 2. Quickly deal with Ryo. Ninja Boogie trying to pair this Laguna follow-up RP. Connects on cast. He gets brought down. Now the finger on Jail. The Flu's another 2. And GG. Evil Geniuses just crushing Rave in the opening match of this best-of-3 elimination match.
The start was solid for Rave. It was that one bottom fight where everything turned around though.
And that was just a simple outnumber. They ran in kind of
Yep.
one by one. They didn't TP in the Viper, who really needed to be there. Didn't structure their fight so well, and then Clinks took over the map. I think this is very classic. If you go back a year or maybe a year and a half when